Hello and welcome back to the Milltown Way. It's been a week of celebration for Shamrock Rovers, the league champions, the FAI Cup winners, and for the first time since 1987, the double winners of Irish football. I'm Ryan Brennan, I'm joined with Adam Casey, and today we're looking back at Sunday's FAI Cup final victory over Cork City, what it means for the club, for Stephen Bradley, and for the supporters who followed this incredible journey. First of all, we'll start off with the story itself. Shamrock Rovers 2, Cork City 0, a double from Rory.
To complete the double.
Complete the double.
Yeah, it was it was unbelievable. It really was. The whole day, everything around it was great. Besides the stewards in the Aviva, but we'll get to that and the organisation of the Aviva. But
Yeah, they didn't seem to have a good firm hold of
no,
of the crowd. But we don't want to start this on a negative note.
no, just
Shamrock Rovers are double champions.
yeah,
It is the first time since 1987, and well, it was done in style.
it was with 2 goals from who else but Rory Gaffney. Which that adds to the story as well. A player who hasn't played football he didn't play football for a full year.
Yeah, so like, he essentially missed the 2024 season
Yeah.
entirely. He didn't have a contract at the very beginning of the year.
No.
Fights for his place, forces himself back into the squad, forced himself into Stephen Bradley, Glenn Crown, and Steve McPhail's thoughts. And in the end, he starts in the Aviva and he scores the brace, and Rovers end up winning 2-0. It's definitely one of them incredible stories. And as well as that, he's 36 years of age.
Yes, it's mad when you think about the quality he still possesses at 36. Like, and still to be able to keep, like, Rovers had a lot of games this year, and he's like gone the full way in the cup, having Europe, having European qualifiers, obviously, and then the Conference League itself, and then all the league matches to still be able to have all the legs and to be able to get 2 goals in the final game of I know it's not the final game of the season because we still treat European games, but in this momentous game, for him still to have the legs and the quality to get 2 goals shows so much.
Yeah, it does. It shows what he is, I suppose, as a player, and how he kind of treats himself as a professional. He spoke about that 4 points of Guinness was enough for him lately, but he said he'd be having a lot more last night when he was speaking on last night's celebrations.
Well, I hope so. He deserves it.
He does deserve it. Deserves it more than the average player, but yeah, no, it was incredible for the Rovers.
They all deserve it.
They do.
Deserve their points.
They've all contributed, and that's exactly the way Roberto Lopez puts it when he says, it's not any player putting their hands on the trophy. It's 30, 40 people putting their hands on, because they're all the ones that's how many make it happen, made this double happen, made it happen for the first time in 38 years. Such a special club, such a special team at the moment, such a good crop of players. Even if, I feel like I say this every episode, even though not all of them will be there in February when it comes around in 2026, but
they'll be a part of history.
They'll be a part of history, the first ones to replicate it, and without getting ahead of myself, I can see this, the type of team that it is at the minute. I can see this trying to go on and nearly do just. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But,
no, don't.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we're here this time next year, and it's maybe 2 doubles in a row.
But that's the dream. That's the dream. But
maybe I'm being a bit enthusiastic there as well.
You never know. You really don't know.
But yeah, like 2-0 Rovers looked after the game once they got the first goal. They didn't really ever look like letting it up.
No.
And then obviously the second one was even better. Obviously the first one's a bit more like I suppose, a poacher's finish, isn't it? Inside the box, 2 on the line, and he said himself he kind of more or less shanked it. And luckily enough, obviously it still went in, and well, the limbs and the north stand.
That finish was the second one.
With the second goal itself,
the finish was unbelievable.
That's pure gold.
That's just class.
Yeah,
he don't stop then.
He looks up at, I think, Graham Burke, who's entering, like coming into the 6-yard box, but he's not necessarily free. He doesn't have the space around him, and he just goes at it himself. And when I seen him go to take it on himself, I thought there's no chance. Yeah, and
then it ended up in the back of the net, and it was only probably like 5 or 6 minutes after the first one.
So yeah, definitely wasn't long apart. The goals weren't long apart, and yeah, as I said, after that, Rovers just looked in control of the game. Cork had the off kind of half chance between that and
Yeah.
the end of the game, but other than that, it looked like it was going to head in Rovers' way, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, well, with the red card in the first half, it didn't. After that point, it never. Cork had a chance early in the second half, and they kind
Yeah,
of came out the gates. But besides that, once that first goal went in, Cork never looked like they were
yeah,
ready
it
to.
looked like a massive blow, and yeah, they had an uphill battle going on when they approached half time and went down to 10 men. A bad tackle from Harry Nevin
Yeah,
on Josh Honohan. I think
yeah, it was.
I can't help but think that probably a lot of Cork fans maybe initially were joyous and that he was kind of maybe leaving one on Josh,
Yeah,
former Cork City player, but I think maybe within the next 2 seconds of that tackle, they probably thought that's a really bad tackle and they're likely to go down a man.
but you could tell straight after he done it, he knew.
Yeah,
He did. It wasn't malicious.
no, it wasn't. Yeah, I don't think he was going at it saying
No, but
this is Josh
fans in the
Honohan, the
stand were
former.
there.
Yeah, like the fans in the stand would have been kind of saying they would have been more for the start, probably nearly celebrating. And not to say all of
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
but I'd say a lot of them. They don't. They don't hold Josh Honohan or Matt Healy for that matter
No,
in high regard since they made a move to Shamrock Rovers. But
the big leagues.
the big well now they have two trophies in their hand. One
Yeah,
they have a trophy for every hand nowadays when they're going around the place. Um, I mean, yeah, Matt Healy, another outstanding performer. Watch him play Stephen Bradley's way.
yeah,
That got rung out a few times. He can pass. He can score.
yeah. It's a good one. It's a good
The
out chant.
little foot tapper.
Yeah, it is. But
But
the
yeah,
atmosphere itself was
really good.
brilliant. Yeah,
Really good.
that north stand behind it. It's the north stand, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
the
yeah,
stand the Rovers fans were in was the
yeah.
North Stand.
Just behind the goal was
It,
unbelievable.
it was, and it's good to see because that stand, every
It's
supporter, no
terrible.
one wants to be in that
No,
stand, and you know,
second time this year
yeah, like I understood it when Rovers were in that stand
for the
against
Mickey Mouse
Bows
game.
for the Mickey Mouse game, as Adam's calling here, but
Yeah, it was.
the inaugural game of the League of Ireland season. But yeah, no, it's like when you're in that stand. Oh yeah, as I understood why Rovers were in it then
Yeah,
because
because
Bows
they're
kind of
the
gave
way
up home advantage in Dalymount to play the fixture there, so
Yeah,
that's understandable. And then the cup final is just by looks things, it's a look at a draw, flip a coin, see who gets to go in which stand. And
yeah,
I remember the outrage when Rovers were when the FAI had announced that Rovers were going to act as the home team, but they just
yeah,
went kits boys. That's why Rovers
yeah,
wore the green and white on Sunday. Everyone had presumed Rovers were going to be in that stand then.
yeah.
Um, in the Aviva, and then ended up getting the North stand, which is yeah, no one wants to be in. So it's a lot tougher to generate the atmosphere. But I think Rovers fans did an incredible
Yeah,
job
they
doing
did.
just that, didn't they?
It was really loud. Yeah, the flares, everything added to the occasion.
Yeah, I was on the. Did you get it?
A little bit of the bits of like
The
sparks coming down.
sparks were flying onto my head and burning the scalp
It's like
off me at one point.
Halloween.
Yeah, I thought it was over, but clearly continues into November. Um, yeah, but look, it's all part of it. The flares, they make a great visual image on
Yeah,
the pitch, and even the start of the second half was
yeah,
delayed because of the severe amount of flares
yeah,
that went off. But yeah, look, the League of Ireland have banned flares in the ground and stuff in the across the whole league and stuff. Um, but they can't deny that they do make a great picture
they do.
when that green kind of
Yeah,
smoke descends onto the pitch.
it does. It adds to, but I get it for bit. I don't like it every week. Like flares,
I don't mind it.
I think flares should be saved for big occasions. There should be a novelty. Adds to the occasion of a big game like a derby or a.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're gonna, yeah, if it's
Like you're not doing it for just a Sligo or Galway at home. I don't think.
no, not yeah. If it's the middle of the season and stuff,
Yeah,
and it's Sligo or Galway at home, yeah, fair enough. Derbies, yeah. Away games, yeah.
yeah.
Away game, I can
I like it at an away game.
any away game, any stage of season,
Yeah, yeah,
wherever it is.
yeah. Because
You're in the
yeah,
minority.
yeah. You
Really.
have to make yourself known. Unless you're at UCD, then there's probably none.
Yeah. But no, look, it was from a Rovers perspective. it was a great day all round.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could deny that. It was great build up to the game, in excess of 35,000 in the end.
Yeah.
At the game, which was good. Good numbers to see, and look, every season I suppose you look at it and you think you'd love for them numbers to carry on to next season and
To the league games.
into league games. And look, it can only steadily grow. You know,
Yeah.
there'll be people who would have went yesterday and maybe didn't really consider the League of Ireland, and you know, I got chatting to a guy in the pub after the game, and he said he wants to support someone in the League of Ireland, and he was discussing his options because he was talking to me about who was the furthest away, and um, yeah, and he thought that if he chose Rovers, he said it would be glory hunting. But look, I'm not going to be an advocate for anyone else from to start supporting. So hopefully he's buying a season ticket to stand for Tallaght Stadium.
Hopefully, he's getting a membership actually.
Yeah. But yeah, like look, that's what
everyone has to start somewhere, really, and that's a good way to get a more casual fan base in.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is what I suppose we're big advocates for him. You know,
support your local.
Exactly. Well, that's it. Like football, literally on your doorstep. It's this game needs to grow, and it's sometimes people complain about the Irish team not doing well, and look, that's a fair point as well. There's no denying that the Irish team
roll on Thursday.
Yeah, the Irish team do tend to underperform. But if there was an increased level of quality in the League of Ireland, well, then they'd definitely be regularly getting called up. Obviously, hinges on managers as well.
Yeah, managers do play a part.
Heimer Hallgrimsson,
clearly,
don't know if he likes to call the League of Ireland players up. He kind of criticised it when he at the start of his reign, kind of backtracked it when Stephen Bradley called him out, and
he called up Josh Honahan. Then
calls up Josh Honahan, doesn't give him a minute.
Also, congratulations to former Hoops man Johnny Kenny on getting called up.
Oh yeah,
he got called up today due to Evan Ferguson being out injured.
Yeah, congratulations to Johnny. He's still missed, I think.
Yeah.
At Rovers, of course.
Don't fall in love with a lone player.
Never. Yeah, that's number one rule, isn't it? But of course, we have Rory Gaffney softening that blow a lot. But yeah, congrats to Johnny. He's deserved the call up. He's in good form at the minute under Martin O'Neill at Celtic as well. So it's definitely good to see him get recognised for that.
Yeah.
Probably again, it goes back on Heimer that he wasn't just in the team initially. Anyway, he shouldn't have to really rely on him.
Despite when he was scoring for Rovers in Europe consistently.
And he scored against Rangers, didn't he, for Celtic as well? Yeah. So you're producing these big game goals. I don't think he necessarily should have been having to rely on Ferguson coming out of the squad for him to go in. But look, he's in there now. That's the main thing, and we just want to see him have minutes. Like it's good to. Sometimes I look at these call ups and think it's just kind of a form of kind of tokenism. That
it does feel like that, especially if they don't get any minutes.
Yeah, and whatever about sometimes I can understand to an extent when they're big games, and maybe it's the squad sometimes these managers are most comfortable picking. Depending on their relationship with players and so on. But like when Josh got called up, was one of them was the Nations League campaigns, and it's like surely you could just give him minutes somewhere there.
Yeah,
they're not the big games, the World Cup qualifiers, 100%. But when you're coming up against one of them was a friendly against Senegal, and he didn't get anything. So like these type of things, like
you could very easily give them a run out. What's the harm?
Yeah, particularly with a friend.
Yeah, well, Nations League is a glorified friendly, nearly.
It is, yeah. Nations League, the only thing that has a route, I suppose, to the playoff.
Yeah, well, until you get relegated, I don't think.
Yeah, but look back on track.
Yeah, back to
Shamrock Rovers.
The regular scheduled program.
Shamrock Rovers winning the double, and I suppose the massive turning point, as we've already touched on, is that Cork City did go down to 10 men. It was after 40 minutes.
About that, I'd say.
Yeah, it was in the round out, and Harry Nevin made the challenge on Josh Honahan. It definitely would have changed Jared Nash's plans going into the second half, and up until then, I don't think he would have had many complaints with his Cork side. They set up defensively, which, look, it's a team that finished 10th in the league against the team who finished top.
Yeah. You expect a more defensive approach.
You would, yeah, and you would have kind of thought if they... I think he might maybe have been thinking that, absorb the pressure and hit them where you can, and you never know what happened. As we keep saying, it's a cup final. These things happen, and anything can happen on the day. And so when he sees the side going down to 10 men just before the interval, it definitely would have disrupted everything. And
Yeah,
like what they're 2-0 down, he's bringing on Rory Keaton.
yeah,
I know he's on the back of an injury, as well. He's only been back past kind of while. He's not back long for Cork, but not credit to them. They travelled in the numbers as
yeah.
well up to
It's a
Dublin.
long journey up. It is.
It's a long journey to be going back empty-handed.
It is, but that's football.
Football.
That's part of it.
At least they got to see this historical side in front of them. Shamrock Rovers.
Champagne Super Rovers.
But yeah, that was probably the major turning point, and then second half.
It was that, and then they came out. They did come out in the second half. Their best chance of the game was in the second half, right at the start.
Yeah,
forced a good save from McGinty.
Yeah, there was definitely the double save he made. Then at one point, he tips it around. It looks like it's going out, and then he's forced into another save.
Yeah.
It's fair to say, I don't think McGinty wasn't overworked throughout the game.
No,
but when he was called upon, reliable.
Yeah, when he was tested, he answered the call. Like he wasn't called upon too often, but when
the phone rang,
he answered. He was needed when required.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's been a really good addition to the Rover squad as well, hasn't he? Since he signed,
he really has.
He settled in, and
he's been great. He's been great this year.
No, he has. Coming from Sligo Rovers as well, so he's and look, he's part going back to what Lopez said about 30-40 people lift the trophy, because they all add to it. McGinty definitely did when he played his part in that penalty shootout against Drogheda.
That's very true.
Quarter-final of the cup.
That feels like ages ago. It really does.
Yeah, what a game that was.
Yeah. That could have been a horrible ending to the day. I don't think there's anything worse than losing a penalty shootout.
Yeah,
But that was, without him, wouldn't have got to this stage.
No. And there's so many players that the Rover supporters have to thank for this double success, and watching the modern era of history makers is, it's nice to see it progress and see it reproduced.
It's a good time to be a Rovers fan, basically.
It is, because every time you see them, you're seeing them lift a new trophy.
Yeah, and they're just, as Stephen Bradley said, he's always looking forward to the next thing.
Well, that's it. He spoke in his post-match press conference, and he said he doesn't want to put a ceiling on this team. They're young, they're hungry, and they just want to improve upon them. Yeah. It's always good to hear, obviously, that first of all, but it was interesting as well that he spoke on the next kind of target for Rovers will be to qualify for the Europa League as opposed to just the Conference League. Rovers have qualified for the Conference League 3 times. It's a tough task to get in there, and even Rovers, they had a tougher route this year. They did, because Drogheda got kicked out. They did start in the second round of the qualifiers.
Yeah,
they still second, third in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they had 3 rounds to get through with no backdoor option, and they got through them all. And particularly the playoff round being the most impressive one, overcoming Santa Clara, our top Portuguese side. Since Rovers have knocked them out of the Conference League playoffs, they've gotten points out of the likes of Benfica in Portugal.
Yeah,
so
it's just mad.
It is, but it's a testament to the squad. It's a testament to Stephen Bradley.
Testament to the attitude as well.
Yeah,
of going to these bigger clubs and not just playing like the traditional, just sit back and try and absorb all the pressure. Yeah, I know it happens when they obviously against Athens. It was.
Yeah, it was. That was, I think, a different circumstance.
But that was just I don't think he was set up intentionally to.
No, he just had the cup final in mind, didn't he? And he even, as you were saying about, he rotated the starting 11 and he rotated throughout the game. Like Brian Burke and a couple of others got whipped off at half time. And he even said that would never happen in normal circumstances. He had it Sunday in mind at the Aviva, the Rover side on the brink of history, and they made it. And it all came away. And, if you ask any Rover supporter, if you asked us last week,
would we be happy with the situation?
Would you be happy with a point in Athens and and a cup win the double?
Yeah, you can't really argue with that.
No, you can't. I suppose as well as that, it's like, with this Rovers team getting a draw in Athens and the way Rovers got the draw in Athens, arguably should have been
Yeah,
a win.
should have been. That was a very soft penalty at the end.
Soft
You
penalty.
could argue Rovers' penalty was soft as well, but
Yeah, like looking at it, it's tough to take yourself out of the equation, to kind of look at it from a neutral standpoint, but
mhm.
and particularly because we're not neutrals.
No, yeah, that's true.
But I would say that you know on another day Rovers don't get a penalty and Athens don't get one.
Yeah,
Then essentially you could say it's 0-0 then. You
yeah. I
know,
suppose at least it's consistent.
consistently inconsistent.
Yeah,
um,
people. That tends to be the worst thing about refereeing is that it's not consistent.
yeah.
The results.
Is what like with the Athens penalty. Yeah, as you said, Rovers easily could have not had a penalty from when McGovern kind of charges in the box.
Yeah,
I do think, trying to put my bias aside, I do think Rovers Athens penalty was a bit more.
yeah. In my opinion, I don't think either were. But that's just
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's tough. We already discussed this.
yeah, yeah.
We already it's a tough one. But going back, Stephen Bradley, just young manager who's just so hungry for more, and the fact that he's on the back of a double on Sunday, and since he's just spoken about how the higher ceilings are going to be set, or
Yeah.
not setting a ceiling on this team because essentially
Just keep improving and getting better.
there's no limits on this
No.
on this squad, and the fact he's talking about 2026 already. Obviously, there's 3 games remaining this year in the Conference League before the new year, and
Perhaps a European friendly as well, maybe.
I would imagine there'll be between Shakhtar Donetsk and
Breidablik,
away.
probably, yeah.
There'll be a European friendly in there somewhere. Hopefully, it's just not as cold as the last one.
Just better not be.
But yeah, it's Stephen Bradley. He owes nothing to the team, and 9 years at the club, 5 league trophies,
That's crazy.
2 FAI Cups,
Yeah.
guiding the team to matching 4 in a row. He's now matched 87s, double.
Yeah.
It's Rovers supporters may never see this again in their lifetime.
No, that's true. Like, the last double was how many years ago? 38.
38.
Like,
You know,
could be another 38 years if he even.
it's
Bloody hell.
For Rovers, obviously not winning the double since '87. I think Dundalk were the last team to win the double
Yeah.
in 2018. It goes to show as well that to win the double in this this day and age of football, such a it gets tougher as time goes on.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
as well. So much quality is improving upon the league. It's so much. Players are staying longer now due to the new rules. Like you have Victor Osimhen, who's going to go to Arsenal, but he's not going to Arsenal until January 27.
That's to do with
To do
the
Brexit.
Yeah, the EU. And
Yeah. But that and Mason Media staying at Pats until obviously he's going to go now in January to Spurs. But you have these high quality players that are being tapped up by England, and they're staying longer now. So it just means they're providing more of a challenge as they're trying to grow as much as they can before they head abroad.
Yeah.
It just shows the sheer amount of quality that's in the league, and just the sheer amount of quality that's even just within this Rovers team as well.
It's nearly unprecedented, the amount of quality, and the young quality as well.
Yeah,
Which you've seen through, like, away Noonan, for example. He's probably one of the main examples of the young.
yeah, and even like one upcoming would be obviously touched on before was Max Kovalevskis.
Yeah.
Scored against Panama in the World Cup, the under-17 World Cup there last week. He's just continuing to impress, as you've said, Michael Noonan. He has 3 goals in 2 games now at the minute.
Yeah.
For the Ireland 17s, he'll be one that I'm sure he'll be tapped up. Still holds that record of being the youngest goal scorer in a European competition. He beat Lukaku held the record before him, didn't he?
I think so. I'll check that.
But yeah, so like you have such quality in this team, and it varies so much as well. You touched there on the younger players having so much quality, and that they do in high supply, but as well as that you have the other end of the coin, you have Roberto Lopez, who had a whirlwind of a month, essentially.
Yeah.
He's gone from qualifying for the World Cup with Cape Verde, wins the league again with Rovers, for the 5th time as well. Wins the cup again for the 2nd time at Rovers. He's captaining this side to it. He's in the Conference League for the 3rd time. It's just what Stephen Bradley has built here. It's nothing short of essentially an empire.
Yeah, a dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate using American sports terms, but it is a dynasty. It's
Yeah.
5 league titles in 6 years.
It's
You have to worry then, though, as you mentioned, about players perhaps being snapped up. When does a man like that, the big clubs, start coming looking?
do you mean just in general within the squad, or
come looking for Stephen?
Sorry, that's well, don't put that thought in your head.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The way I didn't. You didn't want me to put Josh Lehman in your head.
Was he wearing the suit for? Is that an audition for when he's going to be standing on the Aviva's touchline?
Yeah. Look, I hope I saw a clip from Off the Ball on TikTok, and they were touching on Stephen Bradley. If he was to ever move on, and if he ever took the Ireland job. And first of all, I think it's just a poison chalice.
The Ireland job?
Yeah.
At this moment in time, yeah.
I don't like.
I think it might be in a better state in 5-6 years, maybe.
But I just don't think. I would never like to see. First of all, I'd never like to see Stephen Bradley leave Rovers. That's the main. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I wouldn't like him to go to be the Ireland manager, because I just think, like I've always said, that I think you get any manager in the world at that Ireland job, and no one can actually. You might see slight improvements from some managers, but I actually don't think getting any manager.
No.
You pick a manager out, and
that's the state that it's in now. It could improve.
It could.
But the FAI needs to improve first.
Yeah, well, changes need to happen from the root.
Yeah.
Until then, you won't see changes on the pitch. But that's what I mean. Like, so if you've seen Stephen Kenny, who was lauded as a manager, and maybe the way he was introduced to the senior job wasn't
executed.
He managed the 21s, and then COVID happened, and he just got the job anyways, and stuff like that. So I don't think that was the best way. But then you also saw that how heavily he was criticised.
Yeah, and he's still, by a lot of people, would be seen in the best light.
Yeah, and I
don't particularly think it was his fault.
He done an incredible job at Dundalk.
Yeah.
During his time there. Look, he's not got Pats exactly back where they want. But there's definitely been improvement. Maybe this season they fell off a little bit, but last season, when you think towards the end of the season, they came into some great form, and
they really did towards the end of the year.
So they were highly tipped coming into the start of this season to be challenging for the title. Now, it didn't work out that way.
No,
they're not in Europe at all. But at the same time, it just goes to show that he was so heavily scrutinised that people look at him in a different light. And I don't think Bradley would be exempt from that if he couldn't do it. If he couldn't string the results together, Rovers fans, of course, would never turn on him. No, but I can definitely see, particularly because there's a lot of fans of Ireland that don't support the League of Ireland, so they'll be quick to just get on his back.
Pounce on him,
without looking.
And it will feed into that narrative that people think that the League of Ireland isn't high enough quality. It would feed into that narrative.
It would, yeah. It could, because they'll say as well, they'll look at Stephen Bradley and go, in other words, he's the best League of Ireland manager could arguably have ever been.
Yeah.
And if he got the Ireland job, they'd say, well, look, after those Irish supporters who don't support the League of Ireland,
like if he's
turn around and say, well, we're have to get the best one, and he's still not doing it.
Yeah, true.
And I don't want that, because Stephen Bradley, if you have a bit about you, you'll know exactly who Stephen Bradley is and what he can do and what he can produce. He's produced, as we've already touched on just now, he's produced special things with this Rovers team. So if I saw him going to Ireland, that would be a downward step.
It would be. It might seem, obviously, money wise, it'd be better, I'd say.
Yeah, and you see it fits in. I think, obviously, thankfully, Josh has gotten well, and he rang the bell there in August. But I still don't think he wants to pack up and move away, particularly to another country. So that also helped, so adding to you saying about him taking the Ireland job, that he also said it's something that you always be interested in, which I
I
can
know.
understand.
Yeah,
Of
because of
course.
course you'd want to manage your
Yeah.
country.
I just, oh,
And
please.
I don't know. It went through my head, and then I seen something about how it doesn't seem like Heimer will be given a
Staying
new
on.
contract because
Yeah.
he only signed a
A
short
year, did
term.
he?
Yeah, it was a year,
Yeah.
so it's not like they'd have to fire him. So that just
Don't be saying that to me.
that thought went into my head this morning, and I was just like ruined my day.
You're ruining my evening right now. Oh yeah, no, I really hope he doesn't. I really hope he never. I just hope he never takes that Ireland job. I can, as I said, I completely understand why he would want the job
Yeah,
without a doubt. But you know, we as I've just touched on, you can see how he'll just be. He could potentially just be, die by the sword kind of. He'd be slated from different angles. As I said, supporters who only support Premier League teams saying, "Look at the quality there," and
yeah,
all of this, and
that nonsense.
yeah, that really irks me. But
Instead of just going to the games
going to the
and
game,
seeing the quality for yourself.
or even just maybe start off just watching on telly.
Yeah, there's a
They
lot
don't
more.
do
There's a lot more games that to be on the telly now.
Virgin showing every week,
Yeah,
and the RTE show the cup.
yeah.
But sure, they don't do that.
No,
That's too much work for them.
they'll pay for Sky Sports.
Well, I don't think anyone's paying for Sky Sports anymore.
I think some people still do.
You?
No, we don't have it anymore.
Oh, okay, fair. You came through census.
Yeah, we just don't have any sports.
No. But yeah, like I suppose leading into this, the Milltown Way covered a lot of what this double means
To the club, yeah.
to the club, to the supporters, and yeah, for us,
Yeah.
we didn't. Obviously, we weren't around the last time this was done, and
No,
in 1987, we weren't to come for another while after that.
yeah, I wasn't knocking around at that stage.
In fact, I wasn't born in 14 years. The 14 years after that double last was done.
We were 17 years.
Yeah. But look, it's you don't need. I don't think you needed to be alive then to
No.
understand exactly what this meant to the club and even what it means to us supporting Shamrock Rovers. And yeah, it was just yesterday was special.
It was a special day, and I'd say most people who were there, who are Rovers fans, won't forget it for a long time.
No,
or ever.
well, there was and I can understand why. There's a lot of supporters around me that were in tears.
Yeah, there was some teary eyes there.
Maybe whether that was for the flares or whether it was from
Yeah.
what happened on the pitch.
Just their eyes are burning.
But no, look, it was a special
day.
It was a special day. Yeah, it was.
You could not have asked for.
Couldn't have went better. Really
Couldn't have. No.
Um,
Clean sheet. Didn't win.
Yeah.
Rory Gaffney scored twice. Maybe a Rory Gaffney Cup final hat trick would have made.
Would have put
the exclamation mark on it.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it was just so nice to see, and even when I spoke to Mick last week, Mick Byrne last week, and even when he was telling me about how much the 87 squad is behind seeing Rovers do this again, to see if it's done for the first time in 38 years.
Yeah.
It all comes around, I think, full circle. That's kind of like, this is huge, and this is,
this is the one.
This is here we go again. No, you're not continuing this on.
No, it's not a running bit.
But yeah, like how much it means to the club, how much it means to the supporters, former players, that everyone who's either played for Rovers, managed Rovers, goes to Rovers. That
everyone was behind them.
Everyone was behind them. They had the full backing, maybe not from the other half of Tallaght Stadium.
No.
That were in green and red instead of green and white.
Yeah. In the Aviva Stadium.
But yeah, no, it was such a special day, and it was great to be there, and it definitely gives the Aviva Stadium meaning when as in, like, look, having an inaugural game was the League of Ireland season was great to get the numbers in.
It was a Mickey Mouse game.
But
we did. What did we say when we were at that game? That'd be nice to come here for a game with meaning.
Yeah, well, the game the Bows game had meaning, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It was a league game. If we had won that, we would have won the league a week earlier.
Yeah, true. Still Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want that to be
a tradition.
A tradition by any means. Now, I I suppose there was 38,000 at the game.
That's true.
There was more at that than there was the cup final.
That's because it's 2 Dublin teams as well. But.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why. But I suppose you can't overly knock it. Is what I'm getting at by that. But yeah, I wouldn't.
I just like the Aviva being kept for special occasions, like the way in England Wembley's kept for the cup final. Do you want your national stadium to be kept for them?
I'd have no complaints if they put the president. No, I know it wouldn't get the crowd and stuff, but I would if it could. I would love to see the President's Cup there. That's because I don't think the league winner should have home advantage in the President. No, again, the President's Cup doesn't mean anything. It's an inaugural game.
Yeah.
To open the season and stuff, but it definitely I'd love to see that there instead. Like Rovers will play Derry on that next year.
Yeah.
In Tallaght. It'll be in Tallaght presumably, unless they change things. But I'd have no argument to put the.
No, I think it would be quite good. Yeah. But it's just the
final.
It's just the ticket numbers. I think wouldn't be high.
Yeah, I don't think. And particularly again, you're coming up against Derry. How they would have even more to travel.
Yeah.
I don't think they didn't travel in great numbers when they played Shells in the cup final a few years ago either.
No. There was a fair few out of last year for
Drogheda.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. But again, that's the cup final.
Yeah.
We just didn't travelling that way for an inaugural game.
No.
The President's Cup. Yeah, it's just tough. It's a tough one because again, it's one of them that you take with one hand, you get with the other. You know.
Yeah.
I'd have no issue with that being in the Aviva. I don't think a lot of supporters would really.
No, I don't think so either.
You know, if you're going to the Aviva and it's for a trophy and stuff, don't think work away maybe. But I wouldn't see that happen. I think you can presume it's going to be in Tallaght Stadium. But that's for another day. That's for 2026 podcast, isn't it?
Need to keep something for next year.
You can't be revealing everything. But I suppose what we touched on at the start of this episode was the issues
with the organisation
we experienced on Sunday with the stewards.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like they had control at any stage.
No, there was a few angry supporters around us that were complaining to the steward and stuff. And arguably they're correct in that as well. Well, actually, I would say arguably they were correct in saying I'm giving out. I can understand completely that it's tough on the stewards.
Yeah, of course.
They have to manage this huge game, and I can understand supporters that they want to get in. They want to be getting in with their mates. They want
to be in their seats.
They want to be in their actual seats. So I can understand that. There's a lot of pressure on these stewards who wouldn't. They're only working their event staff. They're gonna only be there temporarily and stuff. But it wasn't necessarily managed well.
No.
We got to the ground around 20 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, 25 minutes before. Yeah.
Yeah, in the round that we were in block 135. Well, we're supposed to be in block 135. They told us to move down to 136. Got to 136. They said to go to 137.
Yeah.
So then we went up 137 and a lot of argy-bargy.
Just try and get to
pushing and shoving and to get to, look, I don't expect when it's a cup final and this kind of this importance. Don't expect things to run exactly smoothly.
No.
I wasn't expecting to get guided to my seat.
No, of course, yeah.
The option of sitting down.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want that either.
Some service to the trip.
Exact drinks to the seat. And I don't expect that, and I wouldn't want that either. I think everyone singing and being together is the important thing. You want,
Yeah, you want
support and the atmosphere. It all adds to it as well.
Yeah, that's more important.
But it's just when stewards are kind of trying to tell you to move. Like
there's nowhere to move.
Like we got asked to move by a steward and stuff, and it was kind of like there wasn't. We can't move anywhere.
No. Like our seats were taken because it was all full there.
Yeah,
and just there was nowhere you could go. You could move.
No, and I had no complaints of the seat being taken.
No, that's fine.
I don't mind that, but I would obviously look. You don't want to stand on the steps.
No.
They don't want you to stand on the steps, so they're telling you to move, and you're like, literally nowhere to move to. There was lads beside me who are doubled up standing in front of each other.
Yeah.
There was a seat
Yeah,
here
there's
and
two
there's one
blokes.
seat behind it, but there's two lads in between
Yeah.
the two seats, so they were doubling up and stuff. And it all adds kind of the stress sometimes as well of the game, and particularly if they weren't overly persistent on moving in, because we kind of just explained that there's nowhere
to move
nowhere
to.
to move to. You want to tell me you want to pick me a seat there?
Yeah, tell me which
by
one
all
to go
means.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, can't do much. And
No.
yeah, look, it's one of them. It's not as if it's a weekly thing. You don't get that in Tallaght because it's not as jam packed as the
It's not
Aviva
as jam-packed,
Stadium
no.
in that north stand either. But it's just not something you want either to happen on a cup final.
No, not when it's such a big occasion.
Yeah, and it did cause aggro amongst some other supporters in the stand that were kind of saying, "Well, my seat's over there. I'm standing here."
Yeah.
So he's like, you don't have the right to kind of deny me where to go and stuff. And
they have reason to argue and stuff.
Yeah.
It's also not the steward's fault either.
Yeah, it's like the management of it.
The overall management.
If everyone did their,
did their job.
well, if because you go to walk into the block, and if it's a case that they check your ticket and check it properly, okay, that says 135. You go on.
Yeah, you go in your.
Someone who might not be in that block is trying to get in.
Yeah.
If they're just told no, it avoids all that. If there's a proper process, there wasn't a proper process. I didn't see him.
No.
But again, like that, none of that really matters. Once they're not the stewards aren't overly strict in saying you need to move because so and so, and you're kind of like, well, you can't.
Where do you want me to move to? That's the.
I could see. You can definitely see how it causes aggro among some supporters.
Yeah,
again,
of course.
I didn't care.
No, it didn't, but not too much.
No. So it's fine, but yeah,
you can see why it would annoy some people.
Yeah.
But I suppose it didn't ruin the day. It didn't hamper the occasion.
Exactly. Shamrock Rovers still won the double.
That's all.
Whether we could see, whether we were in our own seat or not.
No, yeah. Which is all that matters.
Exactly. In terms of look, we'll sign off on a bit more of a positive note.
Yeah.
Because Shamrock Rovers are double champions.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
Didn't mention it.
No, we must have forgot. But no, look, this team is special. And,
yeah, truly.
Where it ranks amongst other team, the 87 winning squad. It's easy to kind of draw conclusions or draw comparisons to say which team was better, and there's so many elements you can kind of consider in terms of the game itself is a different game to back then.
Yeah, no, of course, like football changes, it goes through eras and it changes a lot. So it is hard to compare teams from different eras, but I don't know. I don't want to sound like Rio Ferdinand and say just enjoy them both.
But fellas quoting Rio Ferdinand on the podcast. But yeah, no, look, it's just one of them that this team is special, and it's always just so important to draw, just to appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoy it. It doesn't come off.
No, it does. Like the Rovers supporters have had so long to wait to see a double one since 1987. Waited 32 years up until 2019 for their first FAI Cup.
Yeah,
it's just this team is so special, and it's just so important it's so easy in football to move on.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's just something else then.
Like Shakhtar Donetsk is next for this current team, and
it's easy to just go straight onto the next thing.
Yeah, and it is nice. Obviously, it's not for another 2.5 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Until that game, so it is nice that you can kind of have time to reflect on what this team is and
let them marinate.
Yeah, exactly. Because this team, it's done so much for football. It's done so much for Irish football.
It really has, yeah.
It's broken barriers.
The progress in Europe has been momentous for Irish football.
Exactly that. To see that this League of Ireland the league itself is ready to go to this next step.
Yeah.
And it's also, look, whether you want to see Rovers or whether you want to see Shells in Europe or not, to see two teams in Europe it's
good for the league overall.
Yeah, once it's not Bows.
Yeah.
Well, they celebrated Rovers.
With a few fireworks. It's like the ending of the Oasis concert.
That must be going into the top 10 respect moment of football. Bohemian celebrating Shamrock Rovers winning the double with their fireworks.
They're putting their differences aside.
Yeah, the guns have fallen silent.
This is not a drill. They'll probably have that on it. The fireworks will be on a jersey now next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Limited edition jersey.
They might have you never know, they might have a special Rovers double winning jersey for themselves.
Yeah.
Since they're celebrating it with us. Yeah, because obviously, evidently, Rovers winning the cup means that Bows are going to be in the Conference League qualifiers next year. Derry are going to be in Europa League qualifiers, and Shells are going to be in the Conference League qualifiers with Bows. Which will, it'll be interesting to see four teams.
It is good to have as many teams as in Europe, but
yeah, it gives the best possible start, doesn't it? And particularly because the qualifiers.
Imagine there was 4 Irish teams
in Europe.
Rovers in the Champions League.
Yeah, look, Stephen Bradley's aiming for the Europa League. That's his target.
Yeah.
If Stephen Bradley's targets are out to go by of recent years, it'll be done still.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, look, I don't know about you, but these 45 minutes or so have flown by.
They really have.
Talking about Shamrock Rovers winning the double, I could do it all the time. And we might just do until next season as well.
This episode's just going to keep going. You won't ever actually get to hear it because it never ends.
Yeah, exactly, like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But no, I suppose we'll leave it at that. Shamrock Rovers have won the double. We hope you've enjoyed your day, enjoyed the season. Obviously there is slightly more to come, not that much, but 2 more outings in Tallaght and a trip to Iceland before the year is out, which we'll be bringing to you, and hopefully we'll have another episode between now and the previewing the Shakhtar Donetsk game, and looking at Milltown and the memories of Milltown, as we touched on with Mick Byrne last week, and we'll look to get more on, but just stay tuned for that.
And do tell us in the comments about how your day was yesterday.
Yeah,
you were at the game, how you got on, pre-match, post-match, whatever you've done. Let us know. It's always good to hear, especially when it's such a good day out and it's such a good momentous occasion to see how others got to experience today as well, because at the end of the day, it's a fan base, it's a community.
Yeah, exactly that. Rovers is, look, I was sounding cliche, Rovers is a family at the, it really is. And if you want to share any good snaps you've got, any images, if you celebrating the day, whether it be before the game, heading in or after the game, don't hesitate to send them over. At the Milltown Way, going to send them over on any social media platform, Instagram, X, or Facebook. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to stay in touch with us. Make sure to stay engaged. themilltownway.wordpress.com for the latest updates. And we have the most recent match report by Adam here.
Yeah.
That went up earlier today. So make sure you give that a read as well if you want to relive the
glory of the cup final.
Yeah. And make sure you follow us on Spotify. Make sure you don't you don't miss a notification when the episode lands as well. And Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. But other than that, that's everything from us. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks. Champions,